welcome all. Today we will discuss about velocity and acceleration analysis of a single slider crank mechanism using complex algebra. So first we'll discuss about velocity analysis. Then later on we'll take up the derivation for acceleration analysis. So velocity acceleration analysis of slider crank mechanism. So here we will try to derive the equation for velocity and acceleration of various links in a single slider crank mechanism using complex algebra. So this is the vector diagram of a slider crank mechanism. So here first link is the fixed link. So first link is the fixed link which is making an angle 0 degree. Why? Because it is horizontal. First link is the fixed link, and second link is the crank which is making an angle theta 2 in the anti-clockwise direction, and third link is the connecting rod which is making an angle theta 3. So we are taking with reference to horizontal in the anti-clockwise direction, and fourth link is the slider, okay, or the piston. So here first R1 vector, so is making an angle 0 degree. R2 vector, position vector, is making an angle theta 2, and R3 vector is making an angle theta 3. So if we consider the vectors, so R2 vector and R3 vector, okay, so this, if you write like this, so the closing side of the polygon, closing side of the triangle, so that is this vector R1 vector will come in the opposite sides, so this forms the resultant vector. Okay, so how will we write? R1 vector is equal to R2 vector plus R3 vector. So that forms the closed loop equation for a single slider crank mechanism. In this slider crank mechanism, let R1, R2 and R3, this represent the length of the links. It is a fixed link, crank and connecting rod. And theta 1 and theta 2 and theta 3 are the angles made by this links which will give the angular position of the links. And R1 vector, R2 vector, R3 vector, R1 bar, R2 bar, R3 bar, these are the position vectors of the links. So they define the position vector of the links. So first we have to write the closed loop equation, loop closure equation, which is can be written as R1 vector is equal to R2 vector plus R3 vector. So R1 vector is a sum of R2 and R3 vector. So in the diagram we can see that R1 vector is sum of R2 vector plus R3 vector. So here R1 is variable and depends upon the angle theta 2. So this length can vary because the slider it can slide along the horizontal direction. So depending on the angle, this is a variable. R1 vector is variable, and R2 is the length of the crank, which is constant. Okay, so length of the crank is constant here, and R3 is the length of the connecting rod, which is also a constant value. Okay, so the magnitudes of R2 and R3 will not change, it will be constant value. Only the magnitude of this R1 can change depending on the angle theta 2. Next we will represent this position vector in the exponential form. So the vector R1 vector, R2 vector, R3 vector, we can write in the exponential form. So expressing R1 vector as R1 into e to the power of I theta 1, R2 vector as R2 into e to the power of I theta 2, and R3 vector is R3 into e to the power of I theta 3. Okay, so R1, R2, R3, they represent the magnitude or the length of the links. Okay, substitute these values r1 vector, r2 vector, that is r1 e to the power of I theta 1, I theta 2 in the equation number 1. So this is the equation number 1, r1 vector. So we substitute here, so we get r1 into e to the power of I theta 1 is equal to r2 into e to the power of I theta 2 plus r3 into e to the power of I theta 3. Okay, r1 into e to the power of I theta 1 is equal to r2 into e to the power of I theta 2 plus r3 into e to the power of I theta 3. So here if we know that theta 1 is 0, because it is a horizontal line. So if you refer to figure here, theta 1 is 0, so that is why if you substitute, okay, so that value will become 1. So r1 is equal to r2 into e to the power of I theta 2 plus r3 into e to the power of I theta 3. Why? Because if you substitute in the exponential term here, theta 1 is 0, so this e to the power of 0 becomes 1. r1 is equal to r2 into e to the power of I theta 2 plus r3 into e to the power of I theta 3. This you call it as equation number 2. So first equation is the loop closure equation, and second equation is expressing in terms of exponential terms. So if we differentiate this equation 2 with respect to time, we get the velocity. So position vector you differentiate with reference to time, so we get the velocity. So we'll find out velocity by differentiating this equation number 2 with respect to time. So if you differentiate equation number 2 with respect to time, so what will happen? So this r1 vector, so if you differentiate, you will get r1 dot. Why? Because this is a variable, this is not a constant value, and r2 is a constant value. So you constant term you separate outside, and differentiation of e to the power of I theta 2. So what is that? So you get like this, r1 dot is equal to r2 into I theta 2 dot, okay, so into e to the power of I theta 2. So differentiation of e to the power of I theta 2 is I theta 2 dot into e to the power of I theta 2, and r plus r3 into I theta 3 dot into e to the power of I theta 3. So this is equation number 3. So what we are doing is we are differentiating this with reference to time. Okay, so r1 dot is equal to r2 into I imaginary part into theta 2 dot into e to the power of I theta 2 plus r3 into I theta 3 dot into e to the power of I theta 3. So this equation you call it as equation number 3. So here r1 dot is the linear velocity of the slider. So it gives the linear velocity of the slider. So r2 is constant, which is the crank length, and r3 is the connecting rod length. So we know that theta 2 dot is nothing but d theta 2 divided by dt. Okay, differentiation of that angular position, so we get angular velocity. So theta 2 dot is equal to omega 2, that gives nothing but angular velocity of the link number 2, and here theta 3 dot is nothing but omega 3. Okay, d theta 3 divided by dt, so that is omega 3, angular velocity of the link 3. Okay, so that is a connecting rod. So here if you substitute in the equation in place of theta 2 dot as omega 2 and theta 3 dot as omega 3, and we obtain like this, and substituting this value, e to the power of I theta 2 is nothing but cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. Okay, and similarly e to the power of I theta 3 is equal to cos theta 3 plus I sin theta 3. Okay, so in this equation what we'll do is, in place of e to the power of I theta 2 we replace it by cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2, and here e to the power of I theta 3 we replace it by cos theta 3 plus I sin theta 3, and in place of theta 2 dot we replace it by omega 2, and theta 3 dot we replace it by omega 3. So we get this equation. So that is nothing but velocity of the piston. Vp is equal to R2. Okay, so this term R2 I into omega 2 cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. Similarly R3, okay, imaginary number I into omega 3, okay, into cos theta 3 plus I sin theta 3. So this equation we will obtain. So here what we will do is, so we will separate the terms like this. Okay, I R2 omega 2, we just separate the terms in the bracket, cross multiply, so we get I R2 omega 2 cos theta 2. This I into this I number imaginary, it will be I square, so that will be minus 1 minus, okay, R2 omega 2 sin theta 2. So this will get like this. Similarly you expand this R3 I, we separated R3 omega 3 into cos theta 3. So this I and this I will get, if you multiply you get I square, so that will become minus sign, so you get minus sign R3 omega 3 sin theta 3. Okay, so we are just expanding this. Wherever if you multiply I into I you get minus 1, so here you will get minus sign, otherwise all the terms are written as it is. Okay, so this is this equation. Next we separate real and imaginary terms of this equation. So here if you separate the real term, wherever you don't have I, so that is the real part, so R2 omega 2 sin theta 2 and R3 omega 3 sin theta 3 is the real part. So we write it as minus R2 omega 2 sin theta 2 minus R3 omega 3 sin theta 3. So that is the real part of the complex number, and imaginary part of the complex number is what? So that is R2 omega 2 cos theta 2 and R3 omega 3 cos theta 3. So R2 omega 2 cos theta 2 plus R3 omega 3 cos theta 3. So the imaginary part you equate it to 0. Okay, so from this imaginary part of the equation, if you equate it to 0, what is that? Omega 3 is equal to, okay, so omega 3 we find out, so this you take in the other side, so it will become minus R2 omega 2 cos theta 2 divided by R3 cos theta 3, so that multiplied by omega 2. So this is the equation we obtain from if you write the equation for omega 3. So what is omega 3? Omega 3 is the angular velocity of the connecting rod. So this is the relation between angular velocity of the connecting rod and the angular velocity of the crank. So this equation you can use. And from the real part, what we can calculate, okay, so that is velocity of the piston. So velocity of the piston is minus R2 omega 2 sin theta 2. Okay, minus if you take outside R2 omega 2 sin theta 2 plus R3 omega 3 sin theta 3. So this is the velocity of the piston. Next we will discuss about acceleration analysis of Slido crank mechanism. So acceleration is obtained by differentiating velocity equation with respect to time. That is we differentiate equation number 3, what we have obtained from the velocity equation. So this particular equation we have obtained in the velocity analysis. So here R1 dot is equal to R2, this equation I am considering here. Okay, and by differentiating we obtain R1 double dot. So in order to obtain R1 double dot, we take the constant terms outside, that is I and R2 outside, and we differentiate these two terms. Okay, so in order to differentiate two terms, you have to use a product rule, and the product rule is differentiation of two terms, that is differentiation of u into v is equal to u dv plus v du, that is u into differentiation of v plus v into differentiation of u. So if there are two terms, we have to differentiate like this using the product rule. So here the first term, that is theta 2 dot, we'll keep it as it is, and differentiation of e to the power of I theta 2, that is I theta 2 dot into e to the power of I theta 2 plus e to the power of I theta 2, we keep it as it is. Okay, and differentiation of theta 2 dot, so differentiation of theta 2 dot is theta 2 double dot. So like this we have to do. Similarly for here I3 is the I and R3 we will be separated outside, okay, because they are constant, and differentiation of theta 3 dot into e to the power of I theta 3. So again here if we apply the product rule, differentiation of uv is equal to u dv plus v du. So that means first term you keep it as it is, differentiate the second term, so theta 3 dot we keep it as it is, and differentiation of e to the power of I theta 3, so that is nothing but I theta 3 dot into e to the power of I theta 3 plus, okay, so this term we keep it as it is, and now we will differentiate the first term, so e to the power of I theta 3 into differentiation of theta 3 dot is theta 3 double dot. So like this we obtain the differentiation, okay, of the velocity equation. So if you differentiate the velocity, we will get the acceleration. So this is the acceleration of the first link. So in this equation r1 double dot is nothing but fp, or you can say ap, it is the acceleration of the piston, okay, so linear acceleration of the piston we will obtain, and theta 2 dot, so that is nothing but omega 2, so angular velocity of the crank, and theta 3 dot is the angular velocity of the connecting rod. So here if you double differentiate, that is a theta 2 double dot, okay, double differentiation of the position, angular position, we get the angular acceleration of the link 2, that is crank, and theta 3 double dot is alpha 3, double differentiation of angular position, so that will give you the angular acceleration of link 3. So we will replace in the equation number previous equation all these values, so we will get AP, acceleration of the piston, is nothing but IR2, in place of theta 2 double dot we replace it by alpha 2, so here we will get alpha 2, and e to the power of I theta 2 we keep it as it is, minus r2 into omega 2 square, okay, so e to the power of I theta 2 plus IR3 alpha 3 e to the power of I theta 3 minus r3 omega 3 square e to the power of I theta 3. So in place of e to the power of I theta, we replace it as cos theta plus I sin theta. So in place of e to the power of I theta 2, we replace it by cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2, and here e to the power of I theta 2 we replace it by cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. Similarly for e to the power of I theta 3, we will replace the equations with cos theta 3 plus I sin theta 3, okay. So then this equation we will obtain, we will what we'll do is we will expand this equation, so we just multiply this equations and separate the real and imaginary parts. So in the next term what we'll do is we'll expand, okay, so the previous equation we'll try to expand, and we will obtain like this. So we will expand here, so I r2 alpha 2 cos theta 2, so that is the first term, and I r2 alpha 2 multiplied by I sin theta 2, so here I into I, so it becomes I square, so that will become minus 1, so minus 1 r2 alpha 2 sin theta 2. So here you write minus r2 alpha 2 sin theta 2. Similarly, you expand the other terms also, like minus r2 omega 2 square cos theta 2 minus I into r2 omega 2 square sin theta 2. So like this we expand all the terms, and we separate the real and imaginary parts. So wherever you are having a I term, so that becomes imaginary part, and wherever you don't have I term, so that becomes a real part. So here we are having I, so it is imaginary, so this is a real part, and this is also a real part of the equation. So that we will write separately here. Real part terms, whatever you are having in the equation, you separate it. So this is also real term, so and this is real term. So all this with negative sign, you take it as a real part of the equation. So that gives the acceleration part of the acceleration of the piston. Next, the imaginary part. Okay, so imaginary part is with I symbol. Wherever you are having a I symbol, so that you have to separate. So here I into r2 alpha 2 cos theta 2. So I term you remove it, r2 alpha 2 cos theta 2 minus, see here, r2 omega 2 square sin theta 2 plus here r3 alpha 3 cos theta 3. So that we are writing here, and then we equate it to 0. So why we are equating to 0? Because the piston moves with definite direction, so there is no imaginary part. So that if you equate it to 0, so we get the angular acceleration of the connecting rod. Angular acceleration of the connecting rod, from this equation we obtained. Imaginary part we have equated to 0. So we see what is alpha 3 in terms of all the equation. So you take all the terms to the left hand side, and we obtain the equation for alpha 3 as alpha 3 is this term minus r2 alpha 2 cos theta 3 plus r2 omega 2 square sin theta 2 plus r3 omega 3 square sin theta 3 divided by r3 cos theta 3. So this gives the angular acceleration of the connecting rod. Similarly, from the real part we can calculate what is the acceleration, linear acceleration of the piston. So that is this equation here in the real part. So real part, so that you write here. So negative sign you take it outside, and all the terms you write in the bracket. So these terms whatever we have got, so all these terms we write here. So this completes the velocity acceleration analysis of single slider crank mechanism. So this derivation you have to study.